Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's still very early in the morning, so I'm whispering into the microphone. Today, I want to talk about 5 things you wish you knew when starting your artist website. I want to talk about this because when I learned how to make a website or technical things like this, I faced a lot of issues. And the biggest issue was the fact I didn't know that I had those issues. Like when you didn't know something, you just didn't know, right? Like someone else would tell you and you'll be like, aha. And that's why I want to make this video and tell you 5 very basic things that you could avoid as a beginner web builder / artist. And you might say they were really easy, basic. I would share with you a silly story because I didn't know something really basic and that created a lot of trouble for me. A few years ago, I purchased a set of hi-fi speakers, really cute ones for my bookshelf. So I would like to install them in my office. And I received the box. I unboxed everything. I followed instructions very well, read the tutorials, but nothing. I couldn't make them work. And I was really upset. I just dumped them in a box and pushed them aside. A few months after, a friend passed by and he saw those speakers and he was like, oh, they were really good speakers and all you need was an amplifier. And I was like, what? An amplifier? Why nobody told me this information? So here we go. I bought an amplifier from Taobao, really cheap, like under 20 bucks. So I was gonna try it. So I throw them in my suitcase. And my parents saw it and they were like, oh, you bought an amplifier. And I was like, you knew what it was and you knew what it's for. It was funny, like everybody knew this and I didn't. So that was why I want to make this video, because there were always some things that you thought it was very obvious, but someone else did not know. So I will start with the most simple, that is the incognito mode. A few years ago, an artist told me that her ranking was really good and she would like to sell to the world because she was ready. I checked her website and I was like, no, this ranking could not be like this because your website was not ready. And she was like, oh, you just go to Google and put in the keywords for my niche and my website will come always on top. And I was like, you didn't use the incognito mode? And she was like, what is the incognito mode anyway? So that was the reason. So the incognito mode is a way to lock yourself out of the browser. So Google wouldn't recommend you some things that you often visit. Just like when you search for like show me art galleries near me, what you see the results will be customized for you. When someone else searches the same kind of inquiry on Google, he or she would receive totally different results based on the history, the region, the language, the price points, many things. So Google is trying to do you a favor by showing you the most relevant information, but for some people it could be misleading. You think that everybody would see the same results, but it would not be the case. And that's why you need to use incognito mode. There are other things you could use that are free. For example, Google Search Console, that is an applet within Google you can activate so that you can see the keywords and track them for your website. Number 2, a website is necessary for SEO to get free traffic from Google. Many artists would say, I don't want to make a website because it's so complicated. I will use social media such as Instagram to get free traffic from Google. That won't work for several reasons. One reason is the fact like Instagram is not really indexed on Google. Even some social media, for example, Pinterest is indexed for images. For example, YouTube is indexed for videos, and also Quora is indexed for how to, what is, those kind of factual question and answers. But you won't have the same kind of priority if you are ranking as a social media, and also it's not the same user experience. When someone goes to your website, this person would likely to stay on your website until click away, close this browser. But when someone goes to Instagram, likely this person would browse away quickly and you lose retention, and that's not very good for business. So you're basically working for Instagram for free to get traffic for Instagram, not for your own business. And that's why you need a website in order to get free traffic from Google. Number 3, web builder and web store are two different things. A few weeks ago, I was discussing this with an artist, and he asked me, should I use Shopify or should I use WordPress? And I was like, you can use both. And he didn't get the point, the fact that there were different things. So you can use a system or web builder for your website, such as WordPress. That is the most universal. I personally use it as recommendable. And then you can select e-commerce plugin that matches your needs. For example, you want to be on budget, you can choose a cheaper one. You want to have a really sleek, easy to use design, you can choose another one like Shopify. You can choose WordPress as the main platform, and then you look for the compatible plugins like e-commerce or multilingual tools or speed optimization tools to make the end results that you wish for. And usually WordPress is the most universal and compatible, and that's why I personally recommend it. Number 4, write about your niche, not yourself. Many artists are reluctant to write about other artists, other art events that they are not featured in. And that is a big mistake, because after 12 months of writing content to attract people to your site, you need content. So you're writing, and you're writing like maybe every week, one microblog, every month, one large article. But then after 1 year, you're running out of content. You've written absolutely about every stage of your art, your childhood, your college education, your first residency, your first exhibition, your latest works, and blah, 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 blah. So when people visit your site, they see me. So it's like very self-centered, and you project a bad image. And that's why I recommend you to write about other artists in your region, in your niche. And it's not like promoting others, it's promoting yourself, because you place yourself among them, and you would obviously speak nice words about your art. That's okay, as long as you keep it objective, more or less, right? And then you can show the fact you are very knowledgeable, you are very tolerant, you're not a narcissistic, and that could be a very positive image to project to your collectors. And when people are going to your site, they want value, they want information. If you're not giving them enough information, you're limiting the information to yourself and your background, and that could be very limiting, and you are not giving them good reasons to keep coming back to your site. Number 5, duplicating content is okay. Google encourages original content, unique content. So if you create something unique, of course, you will likely to rank higher than your competition. However, Google will not penalize duplicating content, because duplicating content is so common. Here, I will name 3 most common duplication on your website as an artist. The first thing is duplicating your own content. For example, you have 3 pages: yourdomain.com, yourdomain.com home, yourdomain.com en for English homepage. So the 3 pages are actually identical, and they have exactly the same content, and Google will not like that unless you tell Google those 3 content are the same, just redirect everything to the master page, and that is called canonical tags. These are the details. You don't need to really know this word, as long as you know the concept, and when you are talking with a programmer, you can give him the kind of mission to do, like redirection to the master page, and then Google will know what is going on your site. The second thing is duplicating the content on another site. And you might say, I'm not a copycat, I will never duplicate someone else's content. But sometimes you're duplicating your own content that has been published on another site. For example, you attended an artist residency, and the residency kindly asked you to write something about them, so you did, and then it was published. And now, looking back, you wish to move the content to your site because you need content to rank top on Google or to create value for your audience. But then if you just duplicate exactly, it's a copycat, it's plagiarism, not exactly, but Google will misunderstand your intention, will not understand the fact you are the original author because they published it first. So what you want to do is to create canonical reference to the original content on another site and tell Google, I'm referring to the site, and then you can add some paragraphs to revisit maybe you had a better idea of looking back 1 year after leaving the residency, what a residency should provide to their artists, so that you can kind of re-edit your previous comments and create a better content, updated content to add more value to your audience. So that's another use of the canonical index of duplicating content. The last thing is that you can duplicate your content on your own social media. For example, you have published 20 posts when you're traveling somewhere, and now you'd like to gather the 20 posts and republish on your website. What you can do is just simply create a longer page with all the things included, but recreated, re-edited, rewritten creatively. And Google will not make a fuss about the fact that you are gathering content from your social media, because they will not index social media. That's okay. But nevertheless, you need to create a rewriting of your content to make sense of everything, because if you just dump everything into one thing, it will not really appeal to the audience, because it will just look like gathered. It doesn't look very logical or very creative or very pleasant to read. So that is your task when you are duplicating your own content from social media, but that's totally okay, and Google will embrace it. You just need to move the content and publish as an article. Now there are the 5 things you wish you knew when you are starting your artist website on your own. Of course, you might have different questions. I would not know what you did not know. You might not even know. So if you have any questions, just drop me a comment in the comment box below. And before ending this video, I want to say one more thing, not technical but philosophical. A design to an artist is usually aesthetic design. Like when you say the design of a website, you think about the layout, the movement, animation. But the thing is, a design to Google or to most people who are not working in the field of visual arts is something more utilitarian, like useful. Like a knife, it's a tool. When you are making this knife, you want it to cut well. You don't really care about how it looks. Okay, you want to care because you're an artist, but most people don't care. And when other people are using this knife, they just want it to cut. They don't care how it looks. So if you would like to spend time on making your website better, spend the time on making it a better website for SEO, for the, let's say, on the technical side, to make it a faster, more secure website with better content instead of a more beautiful website. If you have more time, then you would take care of the beauty afterward. But in any case, you don't want to make a overly beautiful, attention-seeking website, because the real protagonist is your art, not your website. If you make the website very, very flashy, people would be distracted and they will look at the website, not your art, and that would be counterproductive to make people purchase your art, right? So that's all the things I want to say. Thank you very much for watching. This is a really long video. That's all, and see you in another video.